Happy St. Patrick's Day, people. So it's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. So tonight for dinner, we're going to have classic St. Patrick's Day food, or at least here it is. Corned beef, cabbage, carrots, and potatoes. And I know there's different ways to cook corned beef. I'm just going to boil it. That's how I've always done it. And it comes out really, really good. And it's the easiest way to do it. And we like to serve it with spicy brown mustard. Okay, so I washed the potatoes. We like to eat the skin in the potato, so I just scrub them really, really well. And we eat them with the skin on. For me, corned beef is a one-pot meal. I boil everything in a big pot, the corned beef, and then when there's 35 minutes left on the corned beef, then I just I put the potatoes and the cabbage in the same pot. One pot meal, super easy. Okay, and I have one head of cabbage, and I'm just going to cut it in 4, but I'm going to leave the end on because I don't want it to fall apart when I'm boiling it. So I'm just going to trim a little bit of that off, just a tiny bit, just to get rid of that little dirty spots. Just like that, just a little trim, and that's it. Cut it in half. That. This piece is huge, so I'm going to cut it once more. All right, so I got the cabbage, I got the potatoes. I'm going to put the cabbage over here on the potatoes until it's ready to put it in, but I want to have everything ready. Okay. Okay. And now I'm going to clean up my carrots. Cut the ends off. Get them peeled up a little bit. I usually don't trim the bottoms off, but if there's any bottoms that look not so great, then okay, that's good. All right, let me get these peeled up. And I'm gonna boil the carrots whole. So I have 2 pots going that I just started to get the water boiling. And the reason I have 2 pots is because 1 cabbage, a bag of potatoes, a bag of carrots, and 2 corned beef is too much to fit in 1 pot. And I could do the vegetables in 1 pot and the corned beef in the other, but I would actually prefer to do 1 corned beef in each pot and then half the vegetables in each pot, because that way the vegetables get infused with the flavor of the corned beef and the spice packet, and it just makes them that much more flavorful. So I'm going to put 1 corned beef in each pot, half a cabbage, half the potatoes, and half the carrots. But the vegetables will not start to go in until about 30 minutes before the corned beef is done, in stages. So the corned beef is going to boil for 3 hours because it's about 50 minutes per pound. And these are 4-pound corned beefs, a little under 4 pounds. They're like 3.5 pounds. So I'm just going to do 3 hours on each. Then 30 minutes before the corned beef is done, I'll put the potatoes in whole. They take about 30 minutes. Then at the 20 mark timer, I'll put the carrots in. And then at the 15 mark timer, I'll put the cabbage in. Then everything will be ready at the same time. I put 1 corned beef in each pot. And now I am going to take the 2 little seasoning packets. There was 1 in each package of corned beef. And I washed them with soap and water on the outside because they come in the corned beef. So okay, and you're going to put the seasoning packet in there, just like that. And then I'll put the other one in the other pot. Okay, so now I'm just going to cover both of these. And I'm going to... Okay, so I put the timer on for 2.5 hours, and when the timer goes off, that's when I'm going to start the potatoes. Potatoes take 30 minutes, the carrots take 20 minutes, and the cabbage takes 15 minutes. Okay, this has been boiling for about 2.5 hours, and now I'm going to put in the potatoes, because they're going to take about 30 minutes, because I'm doing them whole. I'm putting it on top of the beef and letting them roll so I don't splatter myself back with hot water. Okay, so I'm doing half the potatoes in there, and then I'm gonna do half the potatoes in here. I left this pot on too high and it started spewing boiling water everywhere. So the stove is covered, the side of the pot is covered. Oof. I'm gonna cover this back up. And I'm gonna put the timer on. 10 minutes. And then I'll come up and I'll put the carrots in, let those cook for 10, and then I'll put the cabbage in, and then everything will be done at the same time. So right now I have cabbage and carrots left. I just put the potatoes in. Okay, so I'm just pulling everything out of the pot right now. The potatoes boiled for 30 minutes. So if you see, the fork goes in nice and easy and it comes out nice and easy. They're done. The carrots boiled for 15 minutes and the cabbage for 20 minutes. So I'm just pulling everything out of the pot right now, and then I'll slice up the corned beef and we'll be ready to eat. Okay, so those huge corned beefs turned into these little tiny hunks of meat, and a good portion of this on top is pure fat. So I'm just gonna trim off some of that fat. I know some people are like, "Ooh, you can't do that. That's part of corned beef. Leave it on there." Sorry, I can't leave it on there. I want to get rid of some of that fat. Like, this is literally pure fat. I cannot leave that on there. So I'm just going to trim off some of the fat, and then I'll slice it up. And you can kind of feel when you're getting to the meat. See right there? So let me just trim off the fat there. And you can always trim off the fat on your plate on the individual slices, but and again, I boiled these for 50 minutes per pound. So these have been boiling for a good 2 hours and 40 minutes, 3 hours. And then when it was 30 minutes before the corned beef was going to be done, I threw the whole potatoes in. They take about 30 minutes to boil. And I put the timer on for 10 minutes. And when the 10-minute timer went off, I threw the whole carrots in. And when there was 15 minutes left, I threw the cabbage in. So when the timer went off, everything was done at one time. Get this on a platter over here. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful corned beef. So we're going to eat one now for dinner. And like I said, I always make 2 because we usually end up eating about 1.5. And the leftover corned beef is amazing because you can take the leftover corned beef, leftover red skin potatoes, and you can make corned beef hash for breakfast. You chop up the corned beef, the potatoes, some peppers and onions, and you put all that in a pan with some eggs. And you have some nice corned beef breakfast hash. And it's way better than any corned beef hash you can get in a can. That's for sure. And that's it, folks. Dinner served. We have the whole boiled red skin potatoes, the boiled carrots, the boiled cabbage, and the star of the show, the corned beef. And that's it. Happy St. Patrick's Day, people. Classic boiled corned beef, cabbage, potatoes, and carrots. Let me serve up a plate and show you how we eat it. Hey guys, I don't know if this is Irish or not, but our favorite way to eat corned beef is with spicy brown mustard. And so we put a nice big amount of spicy brown mustard right there. And take a little bit of potato, just like that, some boiled potato. And we take a piece of the corned beef. We dip it in a good amount of mustard. Just like that. That's how we love corned beef with spicy brown. That's really good. Really good. Piece of carrot. And then we get some of the cabbage. Really good, people. So we only make corned beef once a year for St. Patrick's Day, and that's it. That's how we eat it, boiled with mustard. Thanks for watching, and happy St. Patrick's Day, people. Bye.